This is Boxing Tickets NI in association with Violent Gentlemen. I'm glad to say we're joined with Ireland's newest professional boxer, Preston.
How's it going, bud?
Oh, it's fantastic. Yourself?
Yeah, going good, yeah, fresh. But thanks for having me on, yeah.
100%. It's a pleasure to have you on. And I guess obviously you're coming up now 24 years as a fiance. Obviously, now you've made your pro debut, you sort of found the courage to propose to the other half.
I was more nervous for that proposal than I was on my debut. You know what I mean? Than I was for any fight.
Did you have the gum shielded just in case you decided to slap you?
Yeah, I was ready to rock anyways, yeah.
Coming out with your robe and all on with the ring music and stuff like that and going,
yeah.
Here, love, will you marry me?
Wouldn't put it past me, but yeah.
How long were you sort of planning to propose to her for?
About 10 months, to be honest with you.
10 months. And what sort of advice would you give to anybody that's been sort of, maybe somebody that's thinking of proposing the other half, you just tell them just to get out of the way rather than worrying about it?
Not even, like, it's not something you should worry about, but it's something you should think strongly about, like, you know what I mean? Like, it requires a lot of thought, like, it's not a light decision that anybody should make. It's a life decision, you know what I mean? It's a promise that you're making for the rest of your life, so you need to be sure that it's the right decision that you're making, you know what I mean?
Yep, exactly. So was it like sort of, were you out and, well, I guess sometimes you see all the fairy tale stuff when people's out in the street and they're sort of down on one knee and stuff like that. Did you sort of do it behind sort of like a closed door scenario?
Just done it, the two of us on our own, like, she come home from work and I was in the house and I just done it, like, you know what I mean? Just between the two of us, like, so listen, it's our relationship is between the two of us, like, so why shouldn't the proposal just be between us, you know what I mean?
So it wasn't the fact that you were hungry then and you're sort of going, how am I going to get her to cook? Here, will you marry me?
Not at all. I'm the mainly the one that cooks, to be honest. You know what I mean? I'm the better cook.
Just thinking, obviously, as us men think, you know, we think for our stomachs sometimes. So you're going, I'm hungry, how will I get her to cook for me tonight? I'll propose to her.
No doubt.
Obviously, apologies in advance. I think she knows who I am, obviously, in interviewing you. So if I'm getting a message later, she'll go, I know what you're up to. So obviously, this is the first time we have you on, Preston. We'll obviously go right back, as obviously we do everybody, in terms of obviously interviews. What sort of age did you start out boxing?
I started boxing when I first walked into the gym when I was 8. I was 8 years of age, so be 12 years ago now, like, you know what I mean? And ever since then, I haven't looked back. Like, growing up, since I can walk, like, I'm throwing punches and I have something to do with boxing, like, you know what I mean? And I started growing up, and while I was growing up, I was always watching fights with my dad and sitting out with my dad watching boxing, some sort of boxing, whether it was someone training, someone hitting pads, or it was fights or something. You know what I mean?
And was it something within the family then that got you into boxing, or was it just something you'd sort of seen on TV and things like that and go, I want to be a boxer?
My granddad boxed, like, it wasn't really big in my family, you know what I mean? It wasn't a major thing in my family, like, but I don't know what it was, like, about me. Like, I always loved boxing, like, you know what I mean? I was never fighting out in the street or anything. Like, I just always loved boxing, like, loved watching it and loved doing it. You know what I mean? And when I was 8, then I was around 6, and I was asked my dad to bring me boxing, like, and he wouldn't. I was too young, like, you know what I mean? Nowhere to take me in, like. And when I was 8, then Dad brought me to the gym, and I haven't looked back since.
And I guess, you know, like I always say to people, you know, when I was younger and things like that, you know, it's always more being able to defend yourself and things like that. You know, I think it was either like karate or boxing, or obviously MMA and stuff comes in it nowadays. But for boxing, obviously, is probably, obviously, because I follow boxing so religiously and things like that, it learns you basics and confidence and things like that in life. You know, speaking to people, being in crowds of people and things like that, it gives you that sort of confidence. So it's probably, like, I know people have sort of tried to say in the past, bring it into school curriculums and things like that, because it gives people may have behavioural problems, it calms them down and things like that. So boxing is so much good uses.
It teaches you discipline. It teaches manners, everything. Like boxing is like life. Like it teaches you life basically. You know what I mean? You should have discipline. You should be disciplined. You should have manners. You know what I mean? It teaches you how to sacrifice things and what things to sacrifice, what things you need to sacrifice. You know what I mean? It teaches you right from wrong. It teaches you life basically. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It definitely it adds sort of layers to you where you think, well, if I wasn't a boxer, I probably might not have done this. I probably might not have met a certain person. So it's sort of set out in stone for you. Once you sort of start to get a decent standard, you go, right, here's where I'm going next. Here's where I'm going next.
Yeah.
You know, and it makes it easier. Who would you sort of growing up then watching and idolizing in the sport?
When I was younger, I used to watch a lot of Floyd Mayweather. A lot of Floyd Mayweather, know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I used to watch Diego Perales as well. A lot of him, like, know what I mean? And then when I started hitting my teenage years, then I started looking at Thomas Hearns.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of my favourite boxers of all time, like, know what I mean? Thomas Hearns, yeah. He was unbelievable. Like.
And I guess, like, and obviously I know others in I think Callum in the stable is actually a Pacquiao fan.
Yeah.
Is that right? So
Yeah.
do you have, like, obviously with you with the Floyd and the Pacquiao sort of thing, are you going, Floyd was better and Pacquiao was better?
Yeah, that's it. Well, look, you look at training then as well. Training's mad into Pacquiao as well, like, know what I mean?
Mm.
But you watch training boxing and he'd remind you of Floyd Mayweather, like, know what I mean?
And I guess obviously, you know, it's probably something nearly asked Tiernan and Callum again, which one started the obsession? You know, they probably both say they taught the other one. You know, the brotherly thing will be like, oh, I showed him, you know. So,
Yeah, that's it.
but it's always interesting because I guess, you know, as you start to learn boxing, you sort of look to people to sort of copy, you know. And when you're mentioning people like Hearns and Floyd Mayweather and Corrales and things like that, you want to learn from the best, to be the best. So it's good to sort of hear the mindset of who boxers actually like growing up in the sport as well, you know.
Yeah, 100%. Look, yeah, like every boxer's dream is to be the best. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And if your dream is not to be the best, you're in the wrong sport. Like you're doing the wrong thing. You know what I mean? But look, you need to look at these boys. You need to watch these, like, to understand what it takes to get to their level. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And like obviously, you know, that you always have generations of, you know, it seems to be more now people are looking back to further generations rather than more recent boxers. You know, probably Floyd Mayweather's probably not even retired properly about 10 years. Obviously, you know, he's come back
Yeah.
for exhibitions, stuff like that. But, you know, you probably look the kids at like 7, 8 years age now, you're sort of hoping they're looking at people like Lomachenko and things like that. Like,
Yeah.
I think his first couple of years where he first decided he wanted to be a boxer, his dad wouldn't let him box. I think he was dancing or, you know, ballet dancing or
Yeah.
something like that, you know.
Ballet and all that. Yeah, look, you know what I mean? Like, Lomachenko is unbelievable, man. He's the most skillful boxer ever, I think. You know what I mean? And his ring IQ is unbelievable. You know what I mean? But like nowadays, at the moment, I think Canelo Alvarez is second to none. Like that fella is unbelievable. You know what I mean? I watch a lot of him now. I do. You know what I mean? But
I know.
that's it. That's
I think Callum's
that's how I like to
a big
mimic my
fan of
style.
Canelo as well.
Yeah. That's how I try and mimic my style on, like, is Canelo. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's
Saying
definitely
what he could say.
it's crazy. Like half his life has been a pro boxer. He started at 15 in Mexico.
Yeah,
And
that's
I think he's
crazy.
nearly 60 fights now at 30 years of age.
Yeah, something like 54 wins or something like that. And I don't know what it is, but he's 2 draws and 1 loss or something like that. Like up to 57, 58 fights or something.
Mm-hmm. And the one
Oh,
loss
I mean,
being to Floyd Mayweather as well, which you sort
yeah,
of people look at and go, "Oh, he lost to Floyd Mayweather. I pretty much may as well still be, you know, unbeaten, you know, because
unbeaten. Yeah, that's it.
yep, you know."
That's it.
But it's interesting, obviously, with Canelo. We obviously, you know, they always say when somebody fought Floyd Mayweather, they became better than they were, you know, in terms of making more money and things like that. people probably are now starting to forget more of Mayweather recently and just think of Canelo and go, Canelo's the greatest there is at the minute. You know, I guess sometimes he gets tarnished with the whole the meat thing and stuff like that in the past, but he's fighting regularly. I think he fought 3 times in like 150 days.
Yeah, look, he fought Callum Smith, then Yildirim, and then fought Saunders.
And then did he Kovalev before that as well?
Kovalev before Smith, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's consistent. Like that's consistency. You know what I mean? To be honest, I don't believe Canelo was juiced. I don't think he's on steroids. Like, you know what I mean? But that, like, he's in mental nick and he's some size, but I don't think he's on steroids. It was proven that was in the meat as well. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So people can say what they want, really. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
People
have their opinions and everything in life, won't they? You know.
That's it.
So whenever you started boxing at the age of 8, when did you sort of start having your first fights and stuff like that? Did it take long to get?
I had my first fight when I was 8, I think. I would have been around 8 or 9, and I got bet round. I don't know how the fight wasn't stopped. I got lumped around, but I jumped out of the ring and like nothing was wrong. Like, you know what I mean? And the next day, I asked my dad, "Are we going to the gym?" And that's when my dad knew that boxing was for me. Like, you know what I mean?
Probably a good thing that it sort of happened so early on, because if you go through, I know in some of when you start out boxing, obviously most of it's like exhibitions sort of, and I think football seems to be going that way with the young grassroots ones now. It's not about winning, it's about sort of getting people in and getting them encouraged to stay in the sport. And obviously when you're, I know when people's fighting like boy 1, boy 2, they're getting walkovers and winning titles, and you're going, but you haven't even actually get punched in the face.
Exactly. Yeah.
You've got punched in the face, you've enjoyed it, and you're going, right, can we go back? And that's when you knew boxing was for you.
Boxing was for me, yeah, big time, because I loved that. Look, even though I got bet around, I loved it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Loved every minute of it. And even to now, like, if I have a bad day in the gym and I take a hiding, like, I still, look, it's not gonna like turn me away from the sport or anything like it. Like, it happens. Like, it's boxing. You're gonna get a punch in the face. Like, you know what I mean? Who cares? At the end of the day,
you learn from it, I guess, and then the next time around, you obviously don't make the same mistake again. It's like learning to ride a bike. Well, obviously you have the stabilizers on first of all, and then the stabilizers start coming back a wee bit, and then they come off. And the minute the stabilizers come off, you've that fear of going, I'm going to fall, and you fall. But then you learn not to fall. Whereas you get punched in the face, and then you go, I'm going to get punched in the face again. And then you go, right, I don't want to get punched in the face anymore. I'll move my head out the road, or I'll throw a punch back.
Yeah, exactly. Like, listen, boxing is as much of a defensive sport as it is offensive. You know what I mean? And when you're growing up, like, when you start off, all you want to do is have a strength. Like, you just want to have a fight. You know what I mean? You don't care about getting hit. Like, but listen, no boxer should mind taking a punch. You know what I mean? But it's obviously the aim of the game is to hit and not get hit. You know what I mean? So you learn to not get hit as well.
Exactly. And you see, and obviously, I guess it's sort of something I haven't thought of before, but obviously growing up as a boxer, I guess when you're at school and things like that, it sort of stops people from, would you sort of get the thing where friends and stuff know you're a boxer and go, he's going to hit me, and the hope that you're sort of like a security guard to him, they're going, I wouldn't fight him, he's a boxer,
Yeah. It's that happens, you know what I mean? That happens, like, but like, just people need to understand that boxers don't go and cause fights, like, you know what I mean? That happened to me, like, plenty of times. Like, people thought I was someone who'll go and cause a fight and I'll go and start the fight, but look, I've rarely ever had a fight out in the street, like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. If you want to fight, you put your gloves on, go inside the ring. You don't need to do it outside.
Yeah, exactly. That's it, like, you know what I mean? I don't feel the need to like, don't get me wrong, if something happened and I was defending myself, obviously I'd fight, like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't feel the need to go out and start the fight out in the street just to to prove to people they can fight or prove a point or whatever. No, it's stupid, like, stupid.
I remember funny, I'm thinking back obviously in my teenage years, and I remember I was out for a night out, and a friend of mine, obviously he was a very good boxer, and a guy was messing about and wanting to have a fight with him, and rather than him punching the guy back, he just ducked from his punches, and after about 30 seconds, he just made the guy look silly, and he's going, I'll cut my losses and walk away because I know if he hit me, it's going to hurt me. So he just ducked his punches out of the road and made him look silly, and he's going, and I think the guy should shake his hand and says, look, mate, I'm sorry, and walked away. You know, he didn't have to punch him.
There you go, bud. You know what I mean? There you go. It goes to show you. You know what I mean? I don't see why any boxer should feel the need to fight out on the street and cause trouble. Like it's not getting you anywhere. Like, it's not proving anything to anybody. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So looking at your amateur career then, how many sort of fights do you know how many fights you had as an amateur?
I think it's 82 fights, I think, only. Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I lost 12. I have 12 losses, yeah. And to be honest, I enjoyed my amateur career, you know what I mean? But coming to the end of it, I now ambitions left as an amateur boxer. Like I was sick of it, to be honest. Like sick and tired of amateur boxing. Like when if you're not the high performance, you're not up there and like with the top boys. Like you're sitting around doing nothing. You know what I mean? It's. I felt like I was wasting my time, to be honest, because my goal was always to be a world champion, and to do that you have to turn professional. So whether to sit around and wait for 4 years just to go to the Olympics, like when that's not my end goal. You know what I mean? My end goal is a world title, like, to be world champion. So I'm gonna make it happen as fast as I can. You know what I mean?
And I know you did have ambitions in the past of obviously going to the Olympics and things like that. What is it that sort of, because you see it so often now that obviously, like we're about to have the Olympics coming up here, next month, and I guess everybody's fears they know when the Olympics is finished, how many of the Olympians are going to turn pro, you know, and things like that.
Exactly.
It seems to be a given. Do you think there's anything you could sort of, you know, obviously you going away from ditching the vest and turning pro, is there anything with a lot of younger boxers now that makes them go, I can't be bothered, you know, just go pro? You know, just because of the fact you can sort of get to your dreams and aspirations sooner, the quicker you turn.
I think that it's a lot to do with corruption as well in amateur boxing. Like there's a lot of corruption in amateur boxing. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with staying there and going to the Olympics, like chasing your dream of being an Olympian. Like there's nothing wrong with that. But there's too many people's dreams are being taken away from them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think with the corruption involved in amateur boxing and even in the high performance, like to a certain extent, I don't see the reason why people are staying amateur like that. And I think that has a lot to do with why people are turning pro as well. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's sometimes like they've already the squads pre-selected, sort of. You know, like you could beat somebody in the high performance unit, and they go, it's just a bad day they had. You know, and they just disregard. You know, it's like there's a talent pool there where they're going, we're not going to focus on these 10 or 20, rather than trying to focus on everybody. They sort of, you know, where you go through the elites and things like that. You know, go through that, and then whoever wins and whoever's a runner-up, blah, 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 in each weight category, then go into it rather than pre-selecting and trying not to change it.
Yeah, exactly. Look, listen, Michael Conor said it when he was being the Olympics, like, amateur boxing is rotten from the core, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of people are saying it the last 2-3 years probably. Since then, really, since Michael was beaten, like, but I don't think many people like that have turned over the last while and have a lot of ambitions left as an amateur boxer. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I know we'll obviously, you know, with Olympics coming up, and we've obviously quite a few boxers going there, and obviously with the success of under 22s the other week as well. I guess we're seeing that the talents there are not just professional boxing, but obviously in amateur boxing as well. And you know, they think of obviously of the next grain coming through and stuff as well. It's Irish boxing being not just look at Irish boxing as professionals, obviously world champions, but they look at how good their amateur teams are.
Yeah, 100%. Like, but I think Ireland have one of the strongest amateur teams in the world.
Mm.
Like, even the under-22 squad there that were at the Europeans, like, the three boys that medalled were on fire. The whole squad was on fire. Like, you know what I mean? They all boxed unbelievably. Like, but the three boys that medalled, like Dane Clancy, Adam Hessian, and Jack Marley, like, they were unbelievable through the whole championships. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it just goes to show you, like, the talent that we have coming through. You know what I mean?
It's like a great success thing. They watched everybody qualifying for the Olympics, and then they were going, I want my name in the lights, you know. And I guess it'll be the same for you, for all you guys in our works, Jim. You know, you all bounce off each other from success. Like, more recently, I'd probably say, like, Maxie Hughes, you know, as an example, and obviously in England, Maxie Hughes obviously was going about and getting beaten by people. Linked up with obviously, well, I think he was linked originally, but obviously linking in a lot with Josh Warrington and sort of seeing what Josh was doing, and then all of a sudden, then Maxie Hughes beat John O'Carroll, you know, and everything else, and you're sort of going, and I know I think he's got a big fight coming up, which is going to be announced shortly, but you know, he's going to get another big fight again. You're going, you know, it can happen so quickly just when a bit of success happens.
Yeah, look, he beat Jono, and then MTK signed him, and he had another fight straight away. And like, Maxie's doing very well, very, very well. Know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it goes to show you, like, once one door opens, the rest of them follow. Know what I mean?
Exactly, and I guess obviously in the thing of the south as well, obviously Gary Cully's success, obviously then led the Caitlin, obviously going out to Germany, and you know, and having a big win and stuff last year. So, you know, I guess for using our works, Jim, it's waiting for one to get the success for the rest of you to see it and follow on.
Yeah, and follow suit. Then that's it. Know what I mean? Like, listen, we're all on the same journey, and we know what we're capable of achieving, and I think we all know we're going to be successful. At some stage, one may get it before the other, but we're all destined for it, and we all know it. You know what I mean? So that's the main thing.
The hunger's there for it. And how did the link up with Stephen O'Rourke happen?
My cousin Ken McMahon joined the gym a while before I did, like, and I joined in the February, and from the previous November I was thinking of going professional. Like, you know what I mean? It was a strong thought in my head, like. And come to February, then I was talking to Kane and all a few times before it, and come to February, then I texted him and I was saying to him, like, will you say to Stephen about me joining the gym and all? And Stephen messaged me then saying, come over for a session, and it just happened then. You know what I mean? I looked at my cousin, and it was after being out for 2 years just. And with him making the choice to go to Stephen, I felt that I should make that choice as well. Like, you know what I mean? Because I seen him from the place he was in to the place he was when he met Stephen then. You know what I mean? So I said, listen.
Made a difference on him. And I know with Kane on tomorrow, obviously for a chat, and obviously I don't want to sort of spoil some obviously his story that he'll sort of bring out, but obviously the difference he's had in the last few years in his life, you know, kid and married and everything else now, and just showing that life can change so much, and boxing's obviously helping to change things around as well.
Yeah, he's like a new man, Kane. Like, he's like a new person, you know what I mean? And it's great to see him like that. It's great to see him going from the place he was in to the place that he's in now. You know what I mean? And
the Iceman's cool as ice as ever.
Yeah, literally, yeah, big time. He's on top of the world at the minute, so it's good to see. You know what I mean?
It definitely is, and particularly after so long out the ring and stuff as well. But obviously, I'm probably scared to count how many fighters there is in this table. But you know, when you look at, and I don't even want to sort of start naming because I don't want to miss anybody out. But there's quite an array of talent in the gym.
Yeah.
Don't want to sort of put you on the spot, but who would when I ask you this question, you probably name everybody. Who would impress you the most in the gym?
As you said there, mate, everybody. Literally, everybody. Everybody has a strong work ethic, and I admire that. Like, know what I mean? That's what I love. Like, know what I mean? We all have the same goal, and nobody is left out. Like, know what I mean? When we're training, we work together as a unit. You know what I mean? Do everything together, spar together, run together, like everything. You know what I mean? And everybody has their own
traits that sort of impress you with everything.
Yeah, everybody has their own specialties. Like, you know what I mean? And everybody in the gym impresses me. Everybody, every single day. Like, you know what I mean?
And I know whenever I say go back to Callum again, but I know whenever Tiernan again. I know when Tiernan last on, he was obviously saying when Callum came down and joined the gym, he seen sort of something Callum done when he was sparring, and then he went in and tried it. You know, these are bouncing the ideas off each other and going, "Oh, I like the way he does that. I'll try that." You know, and then you learn something very quickly from it.
Yeah, look, we'd have a sparring day, and I'd go in and say one of the boys are sparring before me, and I like something they done. When I go in, I'm gonna try it. You know what I mean? I do it all the time, like all the time. And that's a good thing to have as well in the gym. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody looks up to each other. Like,
rather than you having to go and watch loads and loads of fights to sort of see something you like. If you see something you like in the gym, it'll get into your brain quicker.
Exactly, that's it. Like 100%. Like, I was sparring training there a while ago, and when we got out of the ring, training pointed out my faults and showed me how to fix them, basically. You know what I mean? From the spar, like, pointed out my faults in the spar, and we were on the bike afterwards, and it was showing me how to fix them. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, that alone goes to show you, like, the teamwork is a big thing in the gym. Like, you know what I mean?
It's crazy to say. Funny, I spoke the other once in the past. You know, there's sparring someone and they go. I think it was Owen O'Neill. I was interviewing and he was saying, I think he was sparring Sean McComb and stuff like that. And after the spar, they were then going to him, "Here's what you done wrong. Here's how you fix it." And you're going, they're giving you a foolproof way to beat them the next time. You know, fix this, and then you fix that, and then you fix yourself, and then you beat
you
them.
get in again, and you're learning new things. You're learning new things then the next time. You know what I mean? Both people are learning new things again. So, you never stop learning in our gym. Like, never. There's never a day you don't learn something new. Know what I mean?
And Stephen's obviously well educated and stuff as well. Obviously, you know, you probably need a separate interview for obviously the experience he has in the sport. But you know, not only is he bringing his own son through the system, but obviously he's bringing, you know, he's pretty much been like a mentor / guru for the rest of us, and the education he's learned in the sport.
He's like a father for all of us at the gym. He's like a father for all of us. Like, you know what I mean? He looks out for us all, like, in our own individual ways. Like, you know what I mean? And he works on things with each of us individually that benefit us as an individual, like, not only as a team. You know what I mean? And he's a phenomenal coach, like, phenomenal. His knowledge is second to none. You know what I mean? And we're all in really, really good hands with him. Like,
and I guess these are all like his guinea pigs, sort of. You know, he's obviously learned and educated it for years, and obviously now he's going, let's put it into practice with all my fighters, you know, and reap the benefits of it. Sort of, you made your debut obviously just passed there on the 19th, 11 days ago in Belgium, but you were supposed to make your debut earlier on the year. I think you were supposed to be out in February in Alicante, but the show was pulled by COVID.
Yeah.
Whenever you first start your training and things like that, and you're looking forward to your debut, and you know, cards get pulled and things like that, does it sort of change your mindset in boxing, or you know, do you have like a day of disappointment going, "Oh, what's going on?" You know?
Yeah, like, genuinely, yeah, I did, to be honest. And it broke my heart. It broke my heart waiting for the date. Like, it wasn't even that I was worried. It was more so frustration. And I just wanted to get out. Like I wanted to fight so bad. And like I was in and out of the gym for a few weeks and everything else. Like, know what I mean? And then finally, when I got my date locked down and stuff, I put my head down and went to walk. Like, and I showed then. Well, not really the fruit of my life. I showed, but I done what I had to do. Like, know what I mean?
You've learned bits more, so you sort of, where you had the negative, where the fight not happening, the few extra months prepared you better, so when it did happen, it happened, and you were better prepared to deal with it. Like, I know your opponent was obviously brought in very, very late notice. There obviously was other opponents and stuff online there as well, so it's not like you knew anything about your opponent, but like 15-second stoppage, I think he hit my left hand and then finished my right. Could you probably dream for it to probably be as easy as that? I guess if you're thinking of your perfect dreams, the first punch, like McGregor against, who's it? McGregor fought Aldo.
Aldo
knocks him the first punch and sparks him out. I guess you never dream of sort of one punch knockout, but like you probably couldn't have won any better for you.
Yeah, like to be honest, I was hoping for more rounds. You know what I mean? I was hoping to box 4 rounds, like, so I could showcase my skills. You know what I mean? But listen, the opponent was brought in on the morning of the fight. Like, the fellow was supposed to fight never showed up to the weigh-in and everything else. Like, know what I mean? And I got a message on the morning of my fight, like saying there's someone else here to fight me. So all I could say was yeah. You know what I mean? And I got in and got the job done. That's the main thing. You know what I mean?
And you were sort of saying off camera before we started, you sort of can't really remember too much about it. I guess when it's in and out in 15 seconds.
I genuinely don't remember throwing a punch. Like, I don't remember throwing one punch. You know what I mean? It felt surreal for about a week. Like, it did. Like, it just, and I've watched the 10 seconds or whatever it was, 15 seconds, about 100 times since, like, and I can't remember. Like, I just cannot remember. I remember getting into the ring, and I remember after the fight, my hand being lifted and everything else, getting picked up with Stephen and all. But I don't remember throwing a punch. Know what I mean?
So it's pretty much nearly as if it just happened on instinct. You were like a robot just getting in. You were probably, you can remember getting in and out of the ring, but obviously what happened and it was 15 seconds. There wasn't a lot happened. You probably more like, it was pretty much the fight was over in 2 seconds because it was 2 punches and the rest was pretty much a count.
When I watched the fight was over when I heard him 3 shots. Like, it was done. Know what I mean? And I heard him a left hook, a right hand, and then a left uppercut. Like, when he was falling, and I heard him a body shot then as well.
Just measure just to make sure he's finished off.
Make sure that the referee didn't step in. Like, the referee does the calling, so you keep punching until the referee steps in front of you. You know what I mean? And the fight was over then. Like, it was. I genuinely don't remember it. Like, I don't remember a thing. Like, that's being outside just from watching the video. Like, I obviously know what happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was done in 5 seconds. It was over. The fight was over. Like, you know what I mean?
You couldn't ask for better. Do you sort of, when you sort of look back on it, I know sometimes where you're sort of going, you want to get the rounds in, but like sometimes you're going, if you get it over and done with in 15 seconds, even better.
Yeah, like 100%. Like that. Listen, I am sick. Yeah, sick as a dog that the referee counted your man out. Like, I would have had the quickest knockout in Irish boxing history. Like, know what I mean? And I'm sick that happened. But listen, I was hoping for more rounds, yeah, to be honest. But and a more durable opponent. But I was delighted to actually do that, to have the fight done and over with, to knock him out stop him within 15 seconds. Like, you know what I mean? But
it keeps people talking as well. I guess sometimes with so many people making debuts and everything else, and it going 4 rounds, and probably maybe losing a round and won at 39, 37 or something like that. Everybody's going to remember Christian Preston, you know, in his debut, it stopped something in 15 seconds. You know, the second quickest, you know, so people sort of going to, it's something like a mark to break. You know, I know Sean Turner has the quickest one, but people keep remembering, and people's watching the video of your knockout and stuff as well, and whether they're saying good things or bad things, they remember your name.
When I got out of the ring, Stephen said it to me. He said, that's probably the quickest knockout in boxing history, like in Irish boxing history, like, you know what I mean? And I was saying, no way, like, you know what I mean? Not a hope, like. Then when I seen that, then that Irish boxing put up with Sean Conor, like, I was saying, Jesus Christ, like, that was a close one, you know what I mean? But,
I think it was Joe come up with that, because I think Johnny was actually going to put the two clips up together. Which one was quicker? And then I think we have a WhatsApp there, and I think Joe just broke Johnny's heart because Johnny wanted the views off it. I think Joe broke his heart by saying Sean Turner's was quicker.
Yeah, like, listen, I watched Sean's as well myself. Sean knocked that man spark out, you know what I mean? There was no counting on nothing like it. But to be honest, like, the last thing I remember when I was in the ring was my opponent was shaking his head in the corner saying he's not coming back out. So I don't understand why the ref counted, like, you know what I mean? But listen, there is what it is, you know what I mean?
I think they have to give him the kind of thing, he can't wave it off, because it technically wasn't like a bad knockdown.
Yeah, look, hopefully I'll break it someday. You know what I mean? Break that record someday, like, but it is what it is for the minute.
It's something to aim for, and any future opponents are sort of going to be fearful of the fact of sort of engaging with you to start, because they're going, he's coming for this record.
Yeah, 100%. Listen, I'm going to have a more durable opponent and a better opponent to me next week, but I'm going out to break Sean's record, and that's that. You know what I mean?
It's getting done.
Yeah, it's being done, like, you know what I mean?
And sort of as you're talking about next opponent, things like that, as a sort of, as I know that the plan's been in the mold, the sort of fighters in the gym, is a plan to stay as busy as possible?
Yeah, 100%. Like, there's we're talking about a date now at the minute that I'm trying to get locked down, so I'm trying to tie that down at the minute. So and it's soon enough, like, so hopefully I can get that sorted and get straight back out, like, you know what I mean?
And I know, like, obviously with Ryan and Victor and things like that with Star Boxing in America, you know, they're looking at going out there hopefully very soon as well. Obviously, with the rest he's in the stable, there's a potential of going out and fighting in America as well on the Star Boxing shows.
Yeah, look, them with Ryan, Tony and Victor, like, them boys have some nice fights lined up, like, you know what I mean? Big fights lined up, like, and it's great to see the boys, like, you know what I mean? Having fights like that, like, and getting the recognition they deserve, you know what I mean? And but listen, for all of us, the dream is big fights and titles, and that's all of our dreams, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a stepping stones. And you haven't signed to any promoter yet yourself. You obviously, you know, you've been fighting on, obviously, Conor's got fights started for you for Slater Sports, but you haven't signed any promotional deals yet. But I guess obviously your 15-second stoppage will sort of help with that. You know, you probably get, you know, Slaters will probably go, we're signing you up. You know, we've seen already what you have.
Yeah, fingers crossed now that are opened a few doors up, yeah. But like, I've been talking to a few people over the last while, like, you know what I mean, about signing up and stuff. But Conor is 100%, like, you know what I mean. He's doing a great job with all the boys, and I would like to work for Conor, yeah, 100%.
I know Conor will be watching this interview as well. Whenever he hears them words, he'll probably get the contract sorted out for you. So probably in some ways this interview's done you a favour in getting you signed up as well. So we'll take our 10% on that.
Yeah, I'm what I
would. What is your weight class you will campaign at? I know sometimes when you turn over pro, you don't really stay. Your weight class, you sort of move down.
I was gonna at the beginning. I was planning on campaigning at welterweight, but that was a year ago. Like, I've grown massively, like, since then. You know what I mean? So I'll be boxing at super welterweight.
Super welterweight.
For the time being, yeah.
And obviously with Kane at super welter as well. Obviously it's going to be good sparring. Cousins obviously fighting a bit out and learning from each other. So
exactly. Listen, me and Kane that clapped the head off each other. Like, you know what I mean? And be best mates when we get out of the ring. Like, it's the way we all are in the gym. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But me and Kane especially, like we're those big cousins. Like we'd probably take it that extra bit further. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly. I throw a sneaky one in there somewhere, and obviously, not that we were looking to call anybody out, but have you anybody sort of in mind when you look at weight classes in Ireland and things like that, and who you would, not that you want to call them out, but you look at them and you're going, I want to test myself, because when you want to be a world champion, you have to test yourself at different levels. Is there anybody you sort of have an eye on?
Not even, mate. That's been honest with you. Like I don't mind how I fight.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been it. I don't mind at all who I'm in the ring with, you know what I mean? But obviously, listen, when you're looking at world stage and stuff like that, you want to be in with the big boys, like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And at some stage, obviously, I'm going to be moving up weights and stuff like that. And at some stage, I would love to share the ring with Canelo. Listen, he's the best at the minute. He's the best out there at the minute, like, you know what I mean? And to share the ring with him would be a sick experience, like, you know what I mean?
I think you'll need to keep eating and eating and eating, because I think with the looks of Canelo, I think he may end up at heavyweight. He's
literally,
I think they're talking of if they get the plant fight finished, that's super middleweight done, and then back to light heavy, and then it could be cruiserweight and heavyweight.
Well, listen, actually, there was one that I found interesting there a while ago. Like I said, Senan Kelly calling all the boys out, like out of the gym and all, like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And but he left me and Kane out, you know what I mean? And to be honest, that's a fight that I wouldn't mind fighting now, no bother, like, you know what I mean? But Senan Kelly after him calling the boys and all out, like, you know what I mean? It generated a lot of publicity as well, like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So obviously you feel bad that he hasn't called you out, so you're calling him out, so that hope the next time when he speaks of somebody, he remembers your name.
Yeah, better luck anyways, like, you know what I mean? Better luck, yeah.
You could do it as a triple threat match, you and Kane and Senan Kelly.
And Senan, yeah.
Hell in a Cell or something like that, you could bring the WWE into it,
Well, yeah, he left me and Kane out in that interview, yeah. Everybody else was mentioned, but me and Kane, like, but listen, if Senan wants that fight, we can make it happen, hopefully, anyways.
Yeah, fantastic. And sort of what sort of is your plan? Obviously, Irish title, European title, and moving on. What sort of plan would you like to set yourself?
Whatever title comes first, mate. Like, I'd listen. Who holds the super welterweight title at Irish level now?
I think it's vacant at the moment. It was the
Craig O'Brien, I think, was it?
Craig O'Brien has middleweight, does he not? I think the BEA Celtic, I think Paddy Gallagher had, and then it was supposed to be Eddie Tracy and somebody I think is supposed to be fighting for it, but I think it's still vacant at the moment. But I'm sure by the time you're at obviously plans for the title fights, there'll be titles there, so obviously you know who you have your eye on then, But
exactly, that's it.
I think
listen, I'd love to bounce straight on the European level, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to do that, like bounce straight onto the European scene. And but listen, if an Irish title becomes optional, I'll take it. You know what I mean?
Yep. And I know I always think back to obviously Carl Frampton, 3-time 2-weight world champion, and his biggest regret in boxing was never winning the British title. Obviously, that was completing the full set and everything he could win. And he sort of looked back, and that was, when you see what he's got to now, he's going, the biggest regret was not being a British champion. Obviously, as his pathway is going, which was such a basic title, and you don't want to get to the stage later on in life and you're going, I wish I'd have won an Irish title, because you bypass
exactly, it. Yeah. So, listen, I'm not going to go hunting for it, but listen, if it comes available, I'll take the shot. You know what I mean? No matter who holds it, like, it doesn't bother me at all. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'll fight anybody, to be honest with you, mate. It doesn't bother me, like, you know what I mean?
Yep, exactly. And obviously, we've got to the sort of end of our questions, as we sort of do with everybody. there any obviously sponsors you want to thank, or anybody you want to sort of, because I know with like you as a fighter, you have to rely so much on sponsorship. So every interview and stuff you do, you always have to give them thanks. And if you want to obviously name any, I know sometimes we put you in the spot, you might forget something. So we apologise to your sponsors in advance if you leave anybody out. But obviously, if you want to fire away with anybody you want to thank.
Yeah, look, my sponsors have done an amazing job with me, and they look after me really, really well. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But my sponsors are Wooden Floors Dublin, Stewart Hill Tattoos, DA Bullies, Caviar Kennels, Clean Sneaks Ireland, and Farm Online. And without these boys, I wouldn't be in the position I'm in now. Know what I mean? They've gone above and beyond for me, really. Like, even in these tough times, like with the pandemic and stuff, like, they've really stuck by me. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And without them, none of this would be possible. Like.
And obviously, are you still on the lookout for sponsors if there's any potential
Yeah,
sponsors?
look, listen, 100%. Anybody who wants to jump on board is more than welcome. You know what I mean? Everything and anything is greatly appreciated.
If it even got to the stage you had to wear tracks bottoms, we had that many sponsors, to get into the fight,
Yeah.
I want to get to the stage I have to wear tracks bottoms because of so many sponsors.
Yeah, 100%.
That would be nice. Anything else you want to add in the interview?
No, mate, I just like to thank my family and my friends, and especially my girlfriend, like now my fiance, you know what I mean? She's been a big, big help the last 2 years. Know what I mean? Like, she's had a big part to play and get me to the position I'm in at the minute. Know what I mean? And without her, I wouldn't be the man I am now. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep. Number one fan, and she was in Belgium as well, so she's got to see it from the start, and obviously see it the whole way through.
Yeah.
Now that
100%, yeah.
Now that you've no thoughts in your head now going when to propose and things like that, that's out of your head. You can focus more on your box now because she said yes.
Exactly, yeah, that's it. All my focus is in the gym now, you know what I mean?
It definitely is. But look, Chris, obviously, thanks very much for coming on and joining us. It's always been great to get to know a bit more about you as a person, and obviously in your fight and everything else. Obviously, as you sort of said, it doesn't look like it's too far away from you sort of having some fight news. So we'll obviously look forward to hearing all about that. And I'm sure we'll catch up with you again soon.
100%, but thanks for having me on. Yeah, fair play to you.
100%, Christian. Cheers. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. See you later.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.